The problem with scientists is that they don't talk in extreme generalities because you have like a
Because we know
laser
we can't. We
focused.
can't.
Yeah,
We know we
you
can't.
have
We know we can't.
you
We
like
can't.
spent years laser focused on a specific area, so you don't want to talk about any other area. But see,
No.
Neil deGrasse Tyson does. You know,
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson
he
sucks.
really likes
Neil
to act
deGrasse
like
Tyson
he's an
sucks.
expert
Don't.
in
Yeah, and he's
everything.
terrible.
So
Neil deGrasse Tyson is bad for science. He's like, yeah, it's bad.
okay, yeah. Why don't you take us away?
All right, and 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone to episode 15 of For the Lulz with DJ LaoD and J Young H.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
J Young H.
That's fine. Yep.
We are what are you doing?
Drinking some alcohol.
All right, we are live on this. What day is it today? February 13th.
Oh, lucky number 13. All right.
2021. This is our first episode in nearly a year, I believe. Since Jay got
because it's an annual show. Yep, it's really good.
Jay got too busy with raising his son and buying a new house. You got we both got new houses actually recently.
Well, let's not give away personal information, man. Like there could be a lot of videos out there.
We both. I recently moved, and you are in the process of moving, as we can see.
Let's not give any personal.
Well, I mean, everyone can see you're moving because the bookcase behind you is like all empty.
I can CGI that.
Our podcast this week is brought to you by Hard Body.
Hard Body Limited or LTD,
however
you pronounce that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's a clothing and a lifestyle company.
Lifestyle. It's more of a lifestyle.
Yeah,
hard body lifestyle.
Run by our friend Pablo.
Pablo the Mex.
Right.
That's his username. So it's not racist to call him Pablo the Mex because that's his username.
He has a great line of clothing and products coming out shortly. You can visit him on Instagram, Facebook, all social media outlets, and he has a weekly podcast where he actually creates content weekly, unlike our
because we do annual.
Our annual podcast.
I've got a lot of projects going on because after this, since I'm on a roll, I'm going to be doing a bunch of gaming recordings. Just gonna because I'm a very shy person, so I gotta loosen up,
Jay has started a channel called Gamer Dad. I think is it called Gamer Dad or what's it called?
No, it's the same YouTube channel, but I just
right. But the video series is called Gamer Dad.
Yeah, Gamer Dad plays video games. Yeah.
All right, and he commentates and he's been playing a lot. You've been playing a lot of Doom recently, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, no, I haven't played anything. Like I've just been working, so yeah, it's not a lot of video gaming.
Can you tell us about this PC that you've built recently? You got a brand new gaming PC for the first time in how many years?
Yeah, it was like 5 years, I think.
Okay. Before that, you're gaming on what kind of platform there? An Xbox or a PlayStation?
No, a gaming laptop. So
okay.
I bought a sweet gaming laptop that had a 1070 graphics card on it, so it was pretty good. So then last summer, since it's been about 4 or 5 years, decided to buy a new one and spend a decent amount of money. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool story, I think.
But he still can't get ray tracing to work in Minecraft.
Oh no, I got to work. I'll make a video later. But yeah, like this one, I already forget the stats, but I think it's a Ryzen 3900 XT or whatever, and then like 64 gigs of RAM or something, and then like 6 terabytes hard drive space, and then the 1 terabyte solid state. And then I got a 2070 graphics card because it was impossible to get a 3070, or sorry, a 2080 graphics card. I got a 2080 because like the 3080 wasn't available. I think they're still sold out.
Oh jeez, so those are like $5,000 or something.
Right. So I'm waiting for it to drop in price, but like as soon as I can, I'm gonna get a 3080. Oh, and funny story. When I tried to build my PC, because I hadn't built one in like over a decade.
Oh yeah.
I actually fried my motherboard somehow.
You didn't use a little bracelet.
No, but see that's the bad thing. I actually did, and it still I don't know how, but like I was trying to troubleshoot it, but eventually I took it into a shop, which was what my friend recommended, and luckily they diagnosed it, and I said, can you guys just build it for me? I'm gonna buy one of your motherboards. They had a similar goodly motherboard
So
in
did
their
you
shop.
fry a motherboard? You fried your motherboard?
Apparently, because yeah, like as soon as I hit the power, nothing happened, but there was a tiny little red light that would come on if I unplugged. If I didn't plug in one of the power pins, like the 4-pin power, then
Right.
I would see a little red light, and
Okay.
just Googled around, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
Okay. How
Yeah.
much did that motherboard set you back? Probably like $200-300.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a $300 motherboard. So the shop I went to, they had another equivalent $300 motherboard. I think it was the same chipset or a similar chipset.
Okay.
And I just said, yeah, just please do it for me. I never want to touch a computer again.
Yep. And
yeah.
ever-
So in the future, yeah, if you want to get your computer needs, you should go to. Okay, I already forgot what the name of the store was, but I'll put it.
Okay, all right. We'll put it in the description below,
afterwards.
and everyone can check that out for all your
Yeah.
gaming, or probably just not even just gaming, just PC needs, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Can they
like-
bring their bring their Apple products there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like they basically did what I wanted, which was to tell me which part was bad, and then they replaced it with a good part, built it for me, installed Windows. It was super good. And they didn't look at me like I was an idiot, even though I was, because I totally fried.
Because
my
you fried
motherboard.
your $300 motherboard
Yeah, totally.
that you bought off. Where'd you buy it off? Newegg or something?
Newegg, yeah.
Oh man, Newegg's the best, dude. I haven't built a PC in a long time. The last time I was building PCs, it was like the GeForce like 4 was like almost the top of the line. I don't know. That was.
Well, hey, I want to say I think building PCs is slightly harder now because there's like there's this thing called RGB and everybody loves it, and then I didn't even bother getting the RGB to work, but there's like a lot more.
There's a lot of stuff now. Yeah, technology's just advanced so much. Yeah, PCs used to be like. I mean, I built PCs when I was like in high school, and I haven't built one since because I've just been using laptops ever since.
Like the Ryzen 3900, it doesn't even come with the stock cooler. They recommended liquid cooling, so I had to get a liquid cooler too.
Oh, sweet! Is it super quiet?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Yeah, it was a
Can
huge
you
hassle to.
Can you show us the GPU like run temperature?
Yeah, but it's upside down. I haven't bothered fixing it.
Okay.
But
Oh boy. Dude.
There's my PC. It's
Nice.
29 degrees right now, I think.
Wow, that's excellent, dude. 29 degrees is like roughly it's like I don't know, close to like 80 something. So pretty good. Pretty good, dude.
Yeah, but never gonna build a PC again. I'm just gonna hire those guys. I'm just gonna order the parts and have them build it. There's a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
don't do it yourself. Hire somebody. Yeah.
So yeah, let's catch up the audience on what's been going on
let's
with
recap
us in the past year. I mean,
okay.
I mean,
you go first, buddy.
I mean, the time that we stopped recording, it was, I mean, we were probably roughly before quarantine. Were we in quarantine?
Oh no, we were starting to quarantine. Yeah, like I was already going on. Rant. I was already going on a rant about the quarantine. Yeah.
There was that episode where I wear a face mask in the beginning. I think maybe.
Yeah. That's right. Yep, that's right. Episode.
Yeah. And Hong Kong was a mess too. Hong Kong had all his protests, right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump was still president a year ago. If you're watching this now, you obviously know that Donald Trump is no longer president. He's the current president is Joe Biden with Vice President Kamala Harris. But in terms of things that have been going on in our lives, a lot of changes for me. I moved very recently, like just literally a few weeks ago. I got a house, and I got married in October, and so everything's just moving along. Oh, I got a new job. Many people know that I used to teach at a college level, and now I teach at.
But you know what? You want to share exactly what college.
I teach. Yeah, I teach at a different private institution now.
Yeah, let's not give out too much.
Personal details. And what else? The gyms have been closed, and so I was doing a lot of push-ups with a backpack filled with weights for a while, and just like sit-ups and like curls and stuff with free weights. But now gyms have reopened at limited capacity, and I am still able to bench press the amount I used to be able to. So.
Well, you didn't tell the whole story though, because the gyms reopened briefly in the summer, and then they were brutally shut down.
Then they closed for a little bit. Well,
for absolutely no reason, because it's like. There's no point because everything else was still open. Like
there was a big spike in corona coronavirus cases. Like,
Did they come from the gym? Because I didn't see any evidence that they came from the gym. Because I'm going to Home Depot and it's super packed. It's way
It's
more
true.
packed in the
That's
Home
true.
Depot than it was.
That's
in the
true.
gym. There's unfair, and the gym people. I mean, some people are gross like me, but most people they like to wipe down. Wipe everything down.
You don't wipe down stuff, dude? That's disgusting.
What?
You don't wipe down all the equipment.
Actually, I'm just gonna edit out that part.
Oh my god. You don't wipe down equipment?
What? No, of course I do.
Oh,
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Let's see. In the past year, I don't think I've gone to a restaurant to dine. Well, that's not true. You and I actually defied the governor's. No, we did not defy any rules.
We didn't defy any rules. We've all been obeying the rules, but yeah, we went to a bar. I go to bars with my friends. We do outdoor seating. And now they
went to
opened indoor. Like we follow all the rules and regulations, but I'm big on supporting the local businesses.
And Jay had to urinate outdoors. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that?
Wait, what? I didn't. That is not true.
I had a picture of it. Remember?
That is not true.
Okay. Well, we'll put the picture in the. We'll put a link to the.
False. Wow.
But yeah, Jay and I have we've hung out a couple times in person. Primarily, we've just been texting and talking about current events. But we've been keeping in touch. We just haven't really seen each other in person a lot. Although
yes, we have. We see each other like every month. It's like
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Maybe. Okay. Oh wait. Actually. Oh yeah. That's okay. Let's what things have we done together since quarantine? We fixed your bathroom. I think it was the toilet.
Called? Yeah, what's that?
Well,
the plunger?
It was the toilet flapper inside the.
The thing that as the water level rises, it rises and causes the thingamajiggy to stop the water.
Jay had a leak in his toilet flapper, so we replaced that.
Yeah, it was good.
And the shut off ballast, we also replaced that. We also did we replace some hosing? Did we do that? Maybe not.
Hosing? What do you mean?
The hosing, that the water supply hose that goes to the tank. Did we?
I'm not sure. But,
I don't think we replaced that. We didn't replace that.
Yeah,
but you fixed
the chandelier.
The light.
The
light,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also replaced the light switch. It was good. Like, yeah, this was a DIY, which I think DIY is a terrible idea. But if you have friends who know what they're doing, DIY is good because they can supervise you. But yeah, like you shouldn't build a computer by yourself unless you're supervised by someone who knows what they're doing.
We will be doing a For the Lulz episode where we will be installing a toilet at JY's new house, and so if you don't know how to install a toilet, you will see us kind of go through all the steps and get some lulz from it, because we'll probably have some beers while we're recording.
Yeah.
I'll get COVID tested right before, so the audience knows that we're being as safe as possible.
We all follow the regulations, man.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah. No problems here.
We did go on a hike. Jay, his wife, and I went on a lovely hike in Cougar Mountain or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a nice little area. We brought my dog, and he seemed to enjoy the outdoors. Everyone was socially distanced. It was a fun evening of hiking. What else did we do?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah, I mean nothing too exciting. So let's go to some Lulz-worthy topics.
Oh, what did you do? What did you keep?
Our lives are boring, man. Like I used to live a cool life, but
Tell me more about what you did during quarantine, because I didn't see you all the time and I didn't talk to you every day.
Like taking care of a baby is really annoying.
Okay, all right.
So I got promoted last year, so that was cool.
Oh, yeah.
And now I just work nonstop because I'm in constant terror that I'm not good enough for.
Are we allowed to say your title?
Don't worry about it.
Does it have the word senior in it?
Don't worry about it. So, anyways.
Oh well, you can tell people if that's the word senior in it, because then people will have like a somewhat of an indication of how up you are in the.
Sure. Yeah.
On the ladder there. So how you have the word senior in your title?
Yeah, that's right. That means people are gonna look to me like I know what I'm doing, which I don't. But anyways,
I think regardless of what position you hold in life, you're always gonna have a little bit of the sense of imposter syndrome, where you're just not sure if you actually qualify for whatever it is.
Well, that's why I've always, if I ever retire, I want to go back and work at Jet City Pizza. I never had imposter syndrome there. I just had the time of my life just making pizzas. So, Yeah, so it's not true. If you make pizzas, you won't feel like an imposter.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a weird year, I would say. Just to recap, I mean, lots of social unrest. I think we won't cover any of those topics, but our friend Pablo has covered a lot of the.
Oh yeah, and I'll be making a video soon. I'm really bad at making videos, but I went deep undercover in the Chaz Chop, so look for that
Yeah,
exciting video coming
learning
soon.
about social injustice and
Yeah.
racial inequity. Um, yeah, Jay will cover all those topics.
Oh, I'm not covering any of those topics, but I will show you
Okay.
deep inside the Chaz.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you want
I
to talk about your experience there? Like what why
no,
you
not
were
really.
there? Like why you were there? Like what you did? Like who you went with?
It was mostly sightseeing.
Okay.
There's my mother-in-law
Yeah.
and wife, like they really wanted to check it out, so I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go, let's check it out.
It was too many people for me, so I didn't go. So
That was good. Everyone was wearing masks, so yeah,
yeah, I know.
it was good.
I avoid large crowds in general. I mean, the largest crowds I usually see are like at the grocery store or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I put my dog down last year, so
Oh, geez, let's talk about that. Let's
I
talk
was
about
really
that
sad.
briefly. I mean, we should have a
Uh,
quick moment. I mean, how did you well, like how like let's learn a little bit about the history of your dog. Like how I mean, that's obviously very sad news. I mean,
oh
losing
yeah, I
a
mean she's had a rough
losing a
life.
pet.
She had a back surgery in like
So how did
2013.
I don't know if we probably covered it, but when did you so how did when and how did you acquire this dog? Like it was a rescue as I recall.
I was dating this girl, and then she was having trouble with the dog, so I just said, okay, I'll just take the dog. She's like, okay, and
Okay.
so I just took the dog,
Okay.
and that was that.
Uh-huh.
Yep. But
And then
she was like from a puppy mill, I think, because yeah, she had a
okay.
lot of issues because yeah, she had a back surgery in 2013. She got pneumonia in 2015, and then she had some kind of pancreas issue after that. And yeah, she's never been the same after the pneumonia, and she's gotten skinnier and skinnier. And then like this year, she was diagnosed with some kind of deficiency in her pancreas that prevented her from digesting stuff because she'd been steadily losing weight. So we put her. She got these enzymes that would help her digest food, which helped her gain weight. But then, like a couple months ago, all of a sudden she had trouble breathing. We took her to the emergency vet, and they couldn't stabilize her. So the next day, we talked to the doctor, and the doctor said that because she was already on an oxygen tank and a bunch of medications like diuretics, but she was still having trouble breathing because she had an enlarged heart, and they couldn't do anything about it. And yeah, they said they couldn't stabilize her, so it wasn't looking good. So, yep, we decided to put her down at that point.
Oh, I'm very sorry for your loss, Jay. I said this
Yeah,
when you first told me. We shared some beers when we
yeah,
reminisced about your dog.
yeah.
What was what was a favorite memory that you had with your dog? If you had to, I know there's numerous because
Yeah,
as a fellow pet owner, every day
right.
is very special. But like if you what is the thing that you miss a lot? I guess.
Uh, I liked it when she pooped. It was very cute. It's very cute. It's very cute when dachshunds poop. It was every
Okay.
morning. She
Okay.
would poop every morning. Take her downstairs to poop, and I would take
Uh
her
huh.
upstairs and give her her food.
Uh
And
huh.
right before she got her food, she would do a little spin
Uh huh.
right before I gave her her food. I never recorded the spin though, and now she's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You guys gonna get another dog or what do you
nope,
think?
nope. Baby is too annoying. Takes up too much time. So
Okay, fair
yeah,
enough. Although you do use daycare now, I think that's a kind of a more recent development, like that you got daycare and
oh
you
yeah,
have a
daycare's been
little
a
more
lifesaver.
flexibility. Yeah, a
Daycare's
little
a
more flex.
lifesaver. It would be impossible to get any work done
Yeah,
without daycare. So,
yeah,
but it
yeah,
also costs a super expensive fortune. So
yeah. Well,
you know,
luckily, you're a senior worker at your
yes, yes,
job
at my company,
institution,
yes, at my institution. So yes, that's right.
So, so you have nothing to worry about because you make time. And your wife is also a senior
Right.
worker at her
Yes. Yes.
place of employment,
Correct.
and
Correct.
so
Yes.
yeah. Um. Oh man. Hang on. I need to take a call. Can you give me a second?
Okay, we'll just edit this out or not.
Okay. Okay. Let's pause for like. Can we pause for like 15 minutes and let me call you back? I'm sorry.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll be back. Should we just pretend like we are coming back from a break? We'll say we came
No,
back.
I'm gonna edit in and say like 2 days later or 10
No, no,
days
no,
later
no,
because
no. Let's just
that's
say
just gonna be funnier.
let's just say that we came back from commercial break.
Yeah.
Don't start drinking yet. Drink during the podcast. Are we recording already?
Yeah, we're already recording.
Oh,
so
sweet.
I'm just gonna edit it in whenever.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep saying that we're just back from commercial break. So.
Okay, go ahead. Say we're back from commercial break.
Or actually, no. That's where we cue the ad. We should cut in an ad right there. You know, like how all podcasts have like that break where they have an ad.
Okay.
Let's try to get a sponsorship from that alcohol.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, welcome to For the Lulz. We're back from commercial break.
Thanks for rejoining us there.
10 days later, it's really good. I think we're talking about my dog, who's very sad. My favorite.
Your wife was pretty sad about it too, even though I know that it was originally your dog, but I mean.
It was just as much her dog. I mean, my dog liked her better, so.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And my favorite memories are her like rolling around in the grass outside, because like that's when she was the happiest. She really loved like when it was summertime to roll around, so it was good. I keep second guessing myself. It was the right thing to put her down, but
no, you shouldn't. I think you did the right thing. I think.
Yeah, it was. She was in pretty bad shape. She couldn't really breathe, even with an oxygen cage. So.
I know that we made that joke when you came over, like shortly after you put your dog down. That I remember you were like, "It's not because it was a cheaper route." Like even though it was, it's not. That did not play into the decision to put my dog down.
Yeah, she already cost a fortune. But if I thought there was a chance, I would have put more money into it.
Dogs are expensive, man. Like my dog like needs these eye drops because he has a eye condition. And so he needs these autoimmune immunosuppressants for. It's an autoimmune disease, so he needs immunosuppressant eye drops, which aren't super expensive. They're maybe like each bottle is like $40, which isn't, and it lasts like over a month. So.
Do you have to get a prescription for it though?
I do.
Yeah,
but it's not a big deal.
That's the annoying part. Yeah, my dog had to get eye drops of tacrolimus or whatever because she had. Mm-hmm. This issue where she can produce what's it called, the tears out of her left eye. So
did you have to do that daily? Was that a daily thing?
Yeah.
For life?
Yeah. Like she had a lot of problems.
Yeah, so, I mean my dog needs drops for life. Like pretty much,
exactly.
So. Or else I'll go blind. I don't know how bad it is for your dog.
Yeah,
or was.
Yeah, like her eye was not in good shape. Without it. So
this has turned into a really not for the lulz kind of chat. I mean, we talked about some very serious topics here.
I'm trying to steer us away from that. You keep trying to.
Yeah, sorry. I know. I just want to talk about serious topics. I mean, life is full of serious things. I
just want to give a quick update that I put my dog down. It was sad, but like she gave me a lot of joy, and I built a memorial to her in Minecraft. So
we should show that. Can you put a screenshot of that like here right now?
I'll be uploading a video of that later. Don't
okay.
Worry
All right.
Yeah.
Can you do that tonight? I mean, you don't have anything else to do tonight.
Sure.
Well, I mean, what else are you going to do today?
Oh,
okay. So, a little bit of context as to why Jay's getting drunk and why you don't hear a baby screaming in the background right now. Seattle currently is under a weather advisory because we have
a huge snowstorm.
A huge snowstorm blew through, and so we got like about a foot. I mean, I don't know how much did you get? About that much?
Yeah, it's like a foot. We were supposed to move today to the new house, but like in the morning.
Which is located where?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Basically,
don't worry about it, viewers.
It's located in Alabama. So we were supposed to move this morning, and it basically snowed nonstop last night. And when I woke up, it looked pretty bad. So we canceled the move. But I'd already dumped my boy off with my parents yesterday. So we're just no kid for now.
Yeah.
So I can get wasted.
Yep. We get wasted. We can record this awesome podcast for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah. Once a year, it's good.
Yeah. Are you going to build a studio for us to podcast from when you?
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, I mean, we just have a room where it's like dedicated for producing our podcast in your house.
That sounds like a super spreader room. That's okay.
No. We'll build in some filters and stuff, and we'll open the window, and we'll get COVID tested. We'll get PCR tested prior to meeting in the room.
PCR test. What does that do?
You'd have to ask your wife, but it's just a different type of COVID test?
Well,
Tests their antibodies, I believe.
One of them tests for antibodies, and then one of them
PCR
actually tests for the virus, right? Okay, so if it tests for antibodies, then it's not going to be very accurate, right? Because
I don't know.
like you get false positives because you can get like a lot of the same antibodies.
I have to look into it. I'm not a biologist.
Right?
I did look into it.
Wait, yeah, but you're like a scientist, so you know.
I'm a chemist.
Yeah, like
we do very different things.
No, that's what my wife says, but like I just like whatever you say, I'm just gonna listen to it.
No,
so,
don't.
The problem with scientists is that they don't talk in extreme generalities because they you have like a laser focus. Yeah, you like spent years laser focused on a specific area, so you don't want to talk about any other area. But see, Neil deGrasse Tyson does. You know,
no, Neil deGrasse Tyson sucks. Neil deGrasse Tyson sucks. And he's terrible.
So.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is bad for science. He's like, it's bad.
Yeah. So all right. So we got that out of the way. So I think you want to do some weird reaction video, right?
Yeah. But let's. What else happened on your year?
No, that was pretty much it. You know, the promotion was the big thing, and now I'm just like working like. Yeah, I feel like I'm working a lot longer now.
Okay, because you're remote. Because you work remote.
Yeah. I'm spending actually, like this is the hardest I've ever worked. I feel like.
What about your wife? Like, is she working long hours also?
She's actually more laid back now that she's in Seattle.
Yeah. Okay. Because she's a staff scientist or something.
Yeah. She's a scientist or.
Yeah, senior scientist position.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I've always wanted one of those, but I was never good enough at science. So
you have a PhD.
I know, but I'm not. I mean, it's like there's different tiers of PhDs. I'm not a great scientist. I tell everyone that, but no one ever believes me, but it's absolutely true. I'm like a terrible scientist.
No, I mean it's all just luck. That's pretty much it. It's just luck.
It takes skill and perseverance, which I lack.
It's really just luck and charisma. I feel like now that I know a little bit more about how it works,
there is some charisma involved, but
there's absolutely you have to get grants. Like that's pretty much all it is. Like if you're a successful scientist, you can get tons of grants, and then you'll be good.
But
if you bring the money to the university, you're good to go. So that's all it is.
I'm not a great scientist. Anyways,
science has nothing to do with it. Just gotta get those grants.
We're just kind of like it's kind of our first time back in over a year, nearly a year, I should say. And so we're trying to just try new things on this podcast to see what kind of sticks essentially, right? We're just trying to we're just trying to catch up, and also kind of just do have some funny conversations. I mean, this is
and get 1 million viewers.
What Jay and I are doing here is pretty much what we'd be doing if we were in person, just sharing some beers, just chatting about life and current events and topics. But one thing we are going to do here is Jay is going to queue up a video, and Jay has not seen this video. I have, and so I have some context to provide him.
But then this is not really going to be a reaction.
Well, I know. Well, it is and it isn't. But it's just funny. It'll be funny. Trust me. So this video is from the Rio Olympics, and it was a championship, I believe, in some weight class of Greco-style wrestling, right? And so the two competitors we have Mongolia, and we can talk more about Mongolia later because I know you have experience in Mongolia, and I think the other guy is from Uzbekistan or something.
Okay.
Right, and so I believe if you look at the score on the upper left-hand corner, can you make it like a slightly bigger? Press the there's a little tab there where you can make it wide, but not full screen.
Oh, it's gonna block out our faces though.
No, press a rectangle. Press a rectangle, not the full screen one. Yeah, that one. I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so so you see how the guy in red, he is from Mongolia.
Okay.
He's up 1 point on the guy from Uzbekistan.
Okay.
And the round is over if the guy from Mongolia does not allow another point to be scored. The match is over at 6 minutes.
Okay.
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 So let's watch this unfold here.
So all right, this is my first ever reaction video. I feel like a lot of people just play it up. So
yeah, don't play it up. Just take a drink, and then let's. But don't have alcohol in your mouth because I don't want you to spit it out. I don't want you to do like a spit take.
Okay.
Because that would be too unbelievable.
Right, because I think people just play it up way too much in these reaction vids. All right.
context to the rules of wrestling. In wrestling, in Greco-style wrestling, you have to constantly engage, right? So you know how in the UFC, which we should talk about some UFC matches, because in the past year, there's been some good ones. So you know how in UFC, like people can kind of like dance around a bunch and like avoid contact and just kind of like,
What? No.
you know,
No.
like, okay,
No.
or like, what?
What?
What are you,
What are you
like,
talking about?
You know how like some, like, have you ever watched matches where like people just like don't really try to engage and they just kind of like throw some jabs and then like dance around and let the round kind of pass by?
No.
Have you ever watched Floyd Mayweather like box? It's like that.
How
right?
dare you? Floyd Money Mayweather is one of the greatest boxers of all
Yeah,
time.
but he turtles. He turtles. He's a turtler.
That takes incredible amounts of skill. Just like
okay.
Justin Wong turtling.
Okay,
How dare you? How dare you?
In Greco-style wrestling, you cannot turtle. Okay, you can't just like turtle. And so what he essentially did there, if you rewind just like a few seconds, right? You see how like before the timer like ends, he starts dancing. Okay, so here's another rule in wrestling: if the match ends in a draw, the person who scored the last point is the one who wins. Which means the guy from Uzbekistan, because he scored the final point due to a penalty, he has won the match. But the guy from Mongolia is about to realize that, and so now you have all the context to follow what's about to happen here.
Man, you're like giving way too much context for the reaction video.
Well, you need it, otherwise you won't know what's going on.
This is a lot of pressure.
There's some more footage that you can find from like other angles and stuff, but I thought that was a pretty good video. It's probably one of my favorite videos from 2020.
That was pretty funny.
It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, do you like watching those videos where like people celebrate too early and then they get owned?
Yeah, but I feel like he won though, so I don't really see what the issue is.
Yeah, he did, but like look at these were so upset.
I mean, the other guy, like, I don't think he was turtling. I mean, he was still within range. The other guy could have.
He was just like, he was going, yeah, I did it, and he's like, you know.
Yeah, like he was that was engaging. Like he was still close. Like I don't see how that's turtling. Like you can't.
Anyway,
you can't run away in wrestling, right? It's not a huge ring. Like
I mean, he kind of was running away. I mean,
not really, but you can cut him off. Like,
he was refusing to engage. I mean,
yeah, but you can cut him off, and like it's a circular platform, right? Or a circular stage. Yeah, like if he's, you can cut him off.
Like sumo, kind of like sumo.
Yeah, like no, I feel like he won, but yeah, I totally get it. Like
yeah.
I like to take my shirt off too, so you know. But that's
like
more,
when you get, that's like is that a universal like
No, but I like to do it when I'm happy, so you know. It's
well, those guys definitely were not happy.
Oh, yeah, they were not happy. Yeah.
They're obviously super pissed. They got robbed. They feel like they got robbed and stuff, so they
right.
They take their shirts off.
So did they reverse the decision?
No, absolutely not. You can't do that.
What?
Why would they reverse the decision?
No,
he didn't. Well, I mean, it's the Olympics. You have to show some sportsmanship and like classiness.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
You have to be classy in the Olympics. The Olympics is all about like sportsmanship and like. I mean, that's like.
No, it's about winning. It's about winning gold.
No, aren't each of the colors? What do each of the colors of the Olympic rings represent? Do we know the answer to that?
What?
Don't they represent different things like?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think each of the circle. Let's look it up. I thought each of the rings represent something in the.
All right. Well, why don't you do the research and let me know? But no.
What do the colors in Olympic rings?
It's about winning. I don't really think the colors mean anything.
According to this website, which is probably unreliable. Here we go. Olympic rings. Here we go. I'm clicking on Olympic.org, which is the national or the official.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. So. Okay, meaning the Olympic symbol expresses the activity of the Olympic movement and represents the union of the 5 continents and the meeting of athletes from throughout the world at the Olympic Games.
Oh, there you go. The colors don't mean anything.
They do. They absolutely do. It's supposed to be for like the color of the flags that are typically represented in different countries, which makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, those are typically the colors of all the flags in the world.
Yeah. Wait, so who was the crowd cheering for? It was kind of hard to tell.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like when people go to the Olympics, they kind of just cheer, right? They're not cheering for a specific, well, not a specific country. They're just kind of, you know what I mean? It's hard to tell because they're like the Olympics have people coming from all over, you know?
Yeah.
And like you and I, if we went to the Olympics and we were just there, I mean, who would you be cheering for? Right?
The naked Mongolians.
Of course, because you love cheering for like the underdog.
Mongolia is not the underdog.
Like Vegeta.
Mongolians are not the underdogs. They're really good wrestlers. They have a long history of wrestling, and they have like this festival every year in August where they do wrestling.
Did you watch it? Did you go to that?
No, I didn't. I want to, but like I don't know. Like yeah, Mongolians don't really like Chinese, so you know.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I mean, last time this Mongolian guy tried to fight me. Luckily,
well, that's because you hit on his girlfriend.
I did not hit on his girlfriend. I asked his girlfriend for a lighter, and she said no. And then I said, "Well, excuse me, princess." And apparently,
did you say it in that tone?
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think they understood what I said, but
okay.
But yeah, like he got really pissed.
Was he big? Was he like one of those coaches?
He was like short and stocky, so yeah, he probably.
Oh, like one of those wrestling coaches.
He would have been able to destroy me. I'm pretty sure. Like back then, but I think.
Yeah, but now you can bench press more, and
right, exactly. So. Like maybe it would have been more competitive. He probably still would have destroyed me, but I would have made it competitive. Yeah, he kept asking if I was Chinese, and he's like, "Don't forget where you're in right now." So.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Really? That's weird. Yeah. That is weird.
That's not weird. Like they're.
Why do they hate Chinese people so much? What's the context behind that?
Because
they dominated China. I mean, the only thing that we could use to stop them was that wall.
No, we didn't even use a wall to stop them. Like eventually, what happened? They conquered us and pwned us, but then. Then they got soft because they absorbed our culture and they became soft.
Oh, they loved it. They loved our culture too much.
They loved the Chinese culture so much they became soft.
They got fat off all that orange chicken.
Exactly. So, and then so now China dominates them economically, and yeah, it's not good. So you know, like I don't blame them because they're a fierce warrior race, and the Chinese, other than Zhang Wei Li, we don't really have that many.
Also, the other guy. There's that other guy too. The guy who won. Did you?
Yeah, there's a couple of UFC fighters now.
Yeah,
so,
but, that one guy who won. He had a good fight actually.
Yeah, but like I don't think China wins any wrestling stuff in wrestling, right?
We should save our UFC discussion when we have Pablo guest up here because he's obviously much more informed about the sport.
Well, no, it's more entertaining if you're not informed. Like I love watching Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless.
Oh my goodness!
They're like my two favorite talking heads. As someone who doesn't follow sports, I just love they're very entertaining and animated. It's good.
I can't stand Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, that's why he's great. Like I love him.
He's just so annoying, and his like opinions are so terrible always.
That's why it's good. He's like the heel in those.
Yeah, kind of wrestling.
Yeah, in wrestling.
Do you watch wrestling?
Oh no, of course. No, you mean fake wrestling? No, I don't. Never watched fake wrestling.
It's still real to me. It's still real to me, Jay.
Like pro wrestling in America is fake news.
It's great, dude. No, it's great.
So,
pro wrestling is great.
I never.
Did you watch it as a kid?
No, of course not. Like, why would I watch it as a kid? That doesn't make any sense.
It's just fun to watch, man.
No.
So, this is why you are the way you are. This explains why you are who you are. Because you were deprived of professional wrestling as a child.
Well, I don't see it as being deprived. Like I don't like it's.
Oh, it was so amazing. Growing up in the '90s, watching professional wrestling and stuff, and you like
totally made up.
It's like news. Yeah, it's fine. It's a lot of things are made up. You watch Netflix. You watch The Queen's Gambit. That's made up too.
Yeah, but that's because it's a fictional show. That's fine.
Yeah, and you watch wrestling fully aware that it's
people are arguing on the internet and being all serious and like arguing about
no one is
yes they are like they're so serious on the internet and doesn't
they're talking about it's just like saying like, oh, you think that the lead from Queen's Gambit is a better chess player than that Russian guy that she plays. I mean, it's like
Yeah, but
You're
that's all
debating.
fake. No, nobody debates. It's all
Lots of
fake.
people. Look, Shoryuken.com is debating that right now. I'm on a thread. Who is the best chess player in Queen's Gambit?
That is not a threat there. Okay.
What did you think of Queen's Gambit as
Oh yeah,
a
no, no,
as a semi-pro chess player?
I am not a
Because
semi-pro
don't you
chess
have like
player.
a 800 rating on chess.com or something?
800's pretty low, but yeah, I can play on chess.com.
I don't remember how the rating system works in that thing.
I think expert is 2,000,
Okay,
and
so
then
that's like William Meow, and then
no, I
you
don't
are
think William Mao's an expert.
okay. But he is good chess.
No, like,
Oh,
but arguably still better than me. But I don't know. I think I'd give him
maybe
like
he's
a good
not.
run.
Maybe he's not as good anymore. Maybe he's gotten
No, but
soft.
he was never an expert. Like our highest rated player was like 1,600 or something back then.
Okay.
We didn't have the internet. Like now it's so easy for kids. Like they have all these free resources on the internet, so they can do whatever they.
Kids, they learn all these new like strategies and stuff. These pro strats.
Yeah, they get all this free information online, and they get all these powerful computers for free. Like we didn't have that growing up. So,
Are you?
Yeah, we were the second best chess team in the state.
Who was the best? Lakeside?
Yeah, Lakeside Private School, because they had Russian grandmasters to teach him. So it was just really fair, man. We had Mr. Nomura.
You always call him Nakamura, but his name is Nomura.
Yeah, that's because Nakamura's like one of the most popular Twitch streamers for chess right now. So I keep getting him mixed up because he's Nakamura is also Japanese, so I get confused. Oh, we probably shouldn't have used Mr. Nomura's real name because now.
Just beep it out. Just bleep it out.
No, well, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah,
no one knows. Like he probably doesn't teach anymore, so it doesn't matter. He's probably retired.
But like,
we're really old.
But the thing is, were you the one who told me the story about when he cried in class?
Yeah, he cried in class.
Yeah, because I feel like he cried in our class too. But maybe I just.
Probably just no. I think it's a one-time. We'll pretend at least for his sake that it's a one-time isolated incident. Because if it happened more than once, it'd be not great.
No, but that's because kids are awful. It's like these kids in high school, they're disrespectful, and like I was very respectful.
You know what was weird? One time he bought pad thai and like Thai food for the whole class to eat.
Weird.
On like a teacher salary back then, which was probably super terrible, and so somehow you could afford that.
It's really weird. Why would
it is.
It is. Did he do that weird. To bribe the students to behave? Because
it was some kind of like class party or something. And
okay.
I mostly remember that because that was my first time having pad thai. I don't know. Have you had Thai cuisine before?
Yeah. I like Thai fried rice. It's got pineapples in it.
I feel like this is a discussion we've had before, and how
Oh yeah, but that's okay. The best conversations can be had thousands of times.
Well, we haven't had discussions. What'd you make? You made something for dinner? You want to share with the audience?
No, not really. I cooked some rice and vegetables, and then some meats.
Nice, dude. How'd you cook it?
I just put the meat on the frying pan and cooked it for like 6 minutes.
Are you
like thinly cut short ribs, I guess?
Nice,
like
dude.
from Ranch 99.
Nice.
So
Sounds
I think 6 minutes is long enough. Hopefully I don't get food poisoning. But it seemed like it was cooked. So
Did you get a nice sear on it?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Just cooked both sides. Kept flipping them over.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. My wife's still asleep. She's taking it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, you guys were napping for a long time.
Yeah, well, because I've been working and having a kid, it's really tiring. So.
Yeah. What is your sleep schedule now as a parent?
Oh yeah, really responsible. Like I usually go to bed around 12 or 1, and then get up at 7. So.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, because I used to, like just a couple years ago, just go to bed at 4 or whatever and get up at 9. It's pretty rough.
Yep. And then you'd go to work. I remember you used to go to work at like 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Like when most people were eating lunch. Like that's when I would eat my lunch at work.
Well, yeah, but that's because I was working in New York and my team was in Seattle. So yeah, I would just hop on in around 11, leave around 6, and maybe do a little bit of work at night. But now, I'm just working long hours at night. It's pretty rough. But yeah, so back to Mr. Nomura. Like, see, I feel he had a rough job because these private public school kids, they're just awful. So like just terrible.
Teaching in general is hard, man. You have to communicate ideas to like a.
No, I feel like if
like lots of cerebral like diversity. Like there's just like. Some kids that are obviously super bored. Some kids like just don't get it. There's kids that don't care. It's hard. It's just
right. So the kids who don't care, you should ban them because like they're being like.
I mean,
those were the ones who made Mr. Nomura cry in class because they just weren't paying attention, being disrespectful.
They don't care about learning about
they should just be banned.
Pre-calculus or algebra or whatever it is.
Yeah, they should just be banned then. If they don't want to be there, then just kick them out, fail them.
It's hard, man.
Just fail them.
No kids left behind. No kids left
just
behind.
fail them. Just leave them behind because they suck. Like they're just ruining it for everybody else. Like,
you can't leave kids behind, man. It's not fair.
They're dragging everyone else down by making the teacher cry. It's not
okay. But in some ways, it's like those are the kids that need the most help, right? I mean, they don't recognize the importance of the material we're studying, so you need to somehow convince them of that, and that's what makes that job hard. Otherwise, they're going to be behind for the rest of their lives, and then their kids are going to be behind, and their kids are going to do exactly the same thing.
Pre-calculus is not useful unless you want to be a doctor, in which case, yes, you do need to know how fractions work.
Fractions work, yep.
But I'm not talking about some of the students you had who were doing pre-med and didn't know how fractions worked. I'm saying most normal people, they don't need to know the quadratic equation. It's incredibly useless.
It's super useful, dude.
It's completely useless.
Quadratics show up all the time.
I have never used the quadratic equation.
Well, you just haven't looked hard enough.
When have you used the quadratic equation?
When have I used it?
Oh, sorry. Never. Wait, no. You're just teaching now, so you're actually not doing science anymore, right? So.
But I use it in science. You use it.
Sure. Okay. Actually, I'm a little skeptical of that too. When have you used the quadratic equation in science?
You use it all the time to solve for roots of. I mean, a quadratic function is not like a rare thing.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. They show up all the time.
Do they? Okay, like where? Like what do you use?
One example is like the suspension bridges, like that. When you have like a suspension bridge. Like that. If you ever look, the cables form like a parabola essentially, and so you can use quadratics to kind of do basic models.
Yeah, but you don't work with the suspension bridges.
I don't.
So where have you used the quadratic equation?
I've had to solve quadratics in solving equilibrium reaction equations.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it would just be a simple quadratic, right? Like normally.
That's why you need a quadratic. That's why you need a quadratic formula.
No, you just have a computer. No, you just have a computer that does it. Like, and the computer doesn't even need to use the quadratic formula, and it can deal with.
It probably does. I mean, it probably does.
It can deal with much more complex.
It could
functions too, like
I mean, but there is some. I feel like you're missing that. There is some utility in understanding how an equation is solved.
Yeah, no, I think the quadratic equation is pretty useless. Like they spend way too much time on dumb stuff like parabolas, which I never dealt with it.
They're everywhere. Parabolas.
When I did my professional masters, I had to use the quadratic.
Okay, there you go.
But that was for school again. Like in my normal day to day,
But what was the application of that?
It's like mostly for graphics, and I can't even remember. And then
there you go.
I guess
they show up. Parabolas show up all the time. It's a common thing. It's not like it's like a line.
It wasn't even really parabolas. Like with stochastic gradient descent, like you're trying to solve for the local minimums, right? Or you're trying to find the minimum. So it's more calculus, right?
Okay,
like,
sure.
It's not even.
But those functions still show up. It's just, I mean.
No, disagree.
Math is important, kids. Study math, study hard, and understand math. Otherwise, you won't be like William Miao, who was so devoted to math that he, in the middle of a bar, he pulled out a sheet of paper and started doing physics calculations.
No, I'm saying for most people, like that pre-calculus stuff is pretty useless, right? Like,
I think it's important just to have like a basic understanding of math, and I feel like pre-calculus is like I realize that not like calculus shows up everywhere too. Just people just.
I would say calculus is way more useful, and so
okay, but you need to understand. You still need to understand how to.
No, I feel
there's
like
a reason. You can't just go from algebra to calculus.
Why not?
Because there's like other because I'm teaching kids just really. how to like graph a line. If the only thing you know how to do is graph a line, then you're not going to be able to like take a derivative of something. You would have no recognition.
Yeah, they can.
You would have no recognition of what any of that other stuff is, and you would have no understanding about why when you take the derivative of a cubic, like why does that plot into a quadratic? You would have no like fundamental like like understanding of why that would be true.
See, I disagree because like
or visualization.
Like you don't need the quadratic formula to understand that. I feel
you don't, but you need to.
Can,
I mean, you still need to understand a quadratic fully, to like fully understand like what's actually going on in that equation. I feel like you need to like. It's not even about plugging. Like you're making it seem like by just plugging it in and finding the roots, you're like, okay, sure, that gives me the roots because I plugged it in. But there's a whole thing where you just like you understand like the way a quadratic works. Like you know the inside outs of that type of equation, right?
I'm saying you don't need to really understand the math behind it. Like you can just plot all of that, and I think you can teach the high level concepts of calculus, right? Which is really cool.
Another episode
what? We're not doing another episode. We're just continuing where we left off.
Okay, well, it's gonna look weird because there's all these background changes.
Oh no, don't worry about it. Okay, so time skip. Okay, and we're back after
from another great ad. I hope you
editing. Yeah, I'll splice it an ad later. So to close out, because we're pretty much close to the end of our episode.
We're gonna talk about the Wall Street bets.
No, we're not. We don't have time for that. We'll do that next episode. So
well, I thought we were talking about current. Your camera's really dark. Can you?
Oh yeah, one second.
I think you have to close the blinds behind you. All right, welcome everyone to a very special episode of For the Lulz. Today we're going to be talking about Wall Street bets.
It's because there's snowing in the background. No, we're not. No, stop. We're not talking. We have to do that next episode because we're already basically at an hour. I checked the timestamps. So to conclude, math is too boring the way they teach it, and most people don't need that math. So what they should do is just teach the concepts behind calculus, which are really cool, such as you can find the area under a curve by creating rectangles underneath it and adding
without any kind of understanding of algebra and pre-calculus.
Yeah,
no one would understand what a function is.
Everything understands the Leibniz method or whatever, right? You have a bunch of rectangles, but what's cool is that the rectangles get smaller and smaller, and the idea is you sum up the areas of the rectangles, and you take the limit as the rectangles, get a width.
People learn limits in pre-calculus.
0.
They wouldn't even understand what a limit is.
No, it's very intuitive. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you wanted to understand the actual math behind it, it would be complicated.
Well, then why don't you teach that in pre-calculus then if it's so intuitive?
That's what I'm saying. Is like they should just teach the cool stuff because most people won't ever need it in real life. So, but it's still good to understand at a high level what's going on. They should have like 2 tracks, like a STEM track and a non-STEM track. And
they do have that. They do have that.
No, they don't. Because they teach everybody pre-calculus, even though most people won't need it.
They have regular calculus and business track calculus.
Wait, they do?
Yeah, UW they do. Yeah, where they don't go. They also have They also have algebra-based physics versus like calculus-based physics at.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I was talking about in high school though. They should have like a business-based pre-calc, and then just.
I don't think you realize how basic like the math that is taught at a high school level already is. It's already super basic.
It's basic and it's not useful either. So they should just spend that time making it exciting. That's my.
It is exciting. It's
not exciting. Quadratic equation is not exciting. Like math doesn't get cool until.
Whatever you prove it, you can prove the quadratic formula by demonstrating different ways.
That's what. There's nothing to prove. You're just refactoring the equation. You're just shifting some variables around, and you get the quadratic equation.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, but you can show how the logic behind how you would get to it by completing the square.
No, it's cooler to sum rectangles underneath the curve and get the area underneath it. Like that blew my mind.
What you're talking about right now is exactly like the concept of completing the square to solve for a quadratic function. You're still looking at areas, and you're like, so this is actually what we're thinking about and how we're thinking about
exactly. But see, so it's like you know how Neil deGrasse Tyson popularizes science.
No, but Neil, don't talk about that.
He hides.
That guy's trash.
What I'm saying is, science popularization is good because it makes people excited for STEM.
It is, yeah.
And so you can do that in school because most people won't actually need to know.
I'm saying that you can do that. You can do that with the quadratic formula too. You're making it seem like there's like certain aspects of math that are really boring and certain aspects that are not. Whereas like where I'm saying like all aspects of math could be cool, and you're making it seem like only certain things in math are cool.
Right. Exactly.
But that's not true. Cool. That's not true.
And because you're arguing that.
I'm just saying that math in general is cool, and I think you're you're making it seem like, oh, if you learn, you have to skip over these things to make math interesting. But I don't think that's true.
Well, I agree with your point that math is layered, so you have to build like building block by building block. But I think most students would already lose interest. So if you start them off by doing like the popular version and showing them how cool
maybe the
math
way
can
you would
be.
teach math, but maybe you're not teaching math correctly.
Well, okay, but see, like the way they're teaching math now isn't working because
No, not my school.
Everyone's lost interest. Nobody cares about the quadratic.
That's maybe
like if you surveyed 20 people on the street, nobody would know the quadratic formula.
You also learned the quadratic.
You
also learned the quadratic formula like 20 years ago, or how, I don't even know how.
And you don't use it. Whereas if you taught people,
I use it. I use it all the time. I use it all the time.
Right. Okay. I'm just gonna edit this around until we.
Okay. Okay.
As we already talked about, but yeah, I'm saying if you start off with the math popularization, then maybe some people will actually want to stick around. And
I think what you are saying is the applications of math, which is also taught with linear functions and quadratic functions and polynomials.
Yeah, I'm saying like they spend way too much time in high school on polynomials. Maybe they should start off with like, this is why it's cool, and then just go from there.
Well, you have to learn like how to solve one first before you can learn about the applications and why it's cool.
See, I think, okay, like, do you know how to do long division? Yes, because they taught that, right? But like, you don't need to know how to.
I use it all the time.
Because you can
I don't
use
care.
it. You can do it on a calculator. Is what I'm saying.
I don't use a calculator in school.
Or okay, a slightly
we don't allow them at our school.
It's a slightly different example, right? Like, okay, machine learning. This is like
you're arguing that fractions are not important. I think, and this is a very slippery slope.
It's important for pre-med. It's important for pre-med.
I've had a conversation with.
Dude, I know.
I feel like you're really.
Yes,
you're really setting yourself up.
What I'm saying is certain students definitely need to know what fractions are, but not.
I think everyone should. I think everyone should have a basic understanding of what a fraction is. I think that's a useful life skill to have.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Okay.
But what about like you gave an example. You said x plus 3 equals 5. Solve for x.
Yeah, that is a thing that people need to do on a daily basis.
Right,
like just solving a basic.
If they're doing pre-med,
no. On a daily basis, you might need to do that. Like I mean, sure, you don't set up the equation like that, but you might be saying like, okay, I need, for this recipe, I need 8 eggs, and I currently have 3 eggs on the table. How many more do I need? This is like. That's essentially what you're doing, right? I know that you're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to set up this equation and I'm going to isolate x on both sides by subtract, right? But that's exactly what you're doing. It's what you're doing, regardless of whether or not you're actually setting it up in your head.
Right. What you're saying, like the abstraction of math, most people don't do that, but they actually do like basic algebra like that, but they can't like generalize it into an abstraction and make the number of eggs a variable like x, right? And I'm saying that's
okay. They do.
But like, okay, it's like when you're catching a ball, you're not solving.
I'm thinking about the parabola. I'm thinking about the parabola.
No, you're not. You're not solving for the differential equations.
Yeah, you are, because you're thinking about the scaling factor of in front of the x squared term, because the higher the value is, the more energy that you lose by throwing the ball upright, right? Because you lose a lot of that energy, like just getting the ball high into the air versus going vertical.
Okay,
right?
but I'm talking about like catching the ball. You're playing a game of catch with your future child, right? Like,
yeah,
you're not gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna come up with the formula for this parabola.
So you're trying to figure out where the vertex is gonna be, and then you can plot out.
I don't think that's how people catch balls.
Then you're like, okay, at the half, I will meet the ball like double of the distance of where the vertex was from the person who threw it. Easy.
I don't think people are solving for the vertex.
I mean, I think most people are.
Okay,
it's hard to argue that they're not.
Okay, last closing thought. Final closing thought. Like, so in machine learning class, right? We learned how to implement all the algorithms behind a lot of machine learning stuff. But actually today, like, if you just want to do machine learning, all the algorithms are already implemented. I mean, it's cool to understand how it works, but most people can just use machine learning because the software is already written and you just plug your stuff in and it just does it for you. Like in school, we learned how it works, which was very cool. But I'm saying for most people, and this is the same as math, like there's already calculators and programs that do the math for you. If you just kind of understand at a high level why it's cool, then you can still use it without necessarily understanding, what a cosine function is.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's a sine and cosine functions are really important, especially in quantum mechanics.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But like science popularizers, like their books don't talk about sine and cosine.
Oh, we
They
should.
would
We
just
should.
they would
We
just
should
lose
definitely
all the
talk more.
readership.
All right.
You know?
So
Okay.
on this continued episode of For the Lulz, we're going to talk about the importance of sine and cosine functions.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's stop this episode now, and then we can record content for the next episode.
Okay. Okay.
So
all right.
okay, well, let's close out.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for watching this episode of For the Lulz.
Yeah, please leave a comment if you think the way math
is important.
It should be taught differently.
Well, I agree that it should be taught differently from how we learned it, but
Yeah.
I still feel like math should be taught.
Let us know in the comments if you still remember the quadratic formula, and no googling it.
Yeah.
No googling it. Because if you Google it, I'm going to ask you to derive it in front of me, so I'll know. Like we'll ask you to call in live and derive the quadratic formula.
All right.
That's how we'll know you truly understand it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Did we want to do any plugs before we end this episode and record?
Yeah, and again, thanks to our sponsor,
Hard
Body Limited.
Or
again,
is
a
that what
lifestyle.
LTD stands for?
Yeah, limited.
Yeah.
So a lifestyle brand for all your clothing and I don't know what else do they sell, stickers and water bottles.
I mean they're selling a lifestyle is what it is. It's a hard body lifestyle.
Not really sure what that I don't live that type of lifestyle.
Oh yeah, me neither. I'm not worthy to wear the shirt, but like I imagine it's like people who are you going after it physically at the gym every day.
I do that, so I guess it is us. It is us.
Okay.
All right. Thanks everyone. See you guys next time.
Okay. Cool.